Hello to you. It's week 40, it's the 11th of September, and wow, it really has been quite an interesting week. As you know, my dream for this 49-day period was to have 3 coaching clients. One of the companies I'm working with, the biggest developer in the Western Cape, they've got over 50 salesmen. We've been going through all the skills and strategies and everything else, but I got the feeling that they're like a spring. There's something that's holding them back, something that they're a 12-stroke engine, but something's just holding them back, and if they can unleash that, they will literally explode. So my intuition told me that I needed to sit down, to go through everyone, to run basically an internal audit, what we call a breakthrough session, because at the end of the day with breakthroughs, you need to be able to have the confidence and the guts to push, because just before a breakthrough, it's actually really, really tough. And what I found is that I believe that it was really essential to sit with people. So we made it a completely anonymous session where we sit down, I sit with people across all different sectors, I understand what their frustrations are, but the one thing was, this was not a bitching session. Anyone that had a problem had to come with 3 solutions. It was an amazing experience. We found some phenomenal ideas, and really I believe it's going to have a huge impact with regards to that business and that spring just absolutely taking off, taking these skills and strategies, implementing them now, and just seeing the results absolutely explode in terms of where they were. This week actually was the first week as well that I didn't have webinars on both a Tuesday and a Wednesday, and some weeks actually I've been doing them on a Monday as well. It's amazing to have your life back. You're doing a webinar at 7 p.m. at night, and I can't explain to you how it just disrupts your life. So, they're brilliant mechanism, brilliant tool to communicate with people, but it was awesome to have my life back, to have Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday back, to either work or spend time with Kelly and the family, or just relax, to be honest. And it just seems to give you so much more time. My energy's been able to come back. It really, really makes a big, big difference, basically. Then, I spoke about this, but when you try and help enough other people get what they want, you get to have whatever you want in life, which is what Zig Ziglar said. And SABEF, the South African Black Entrepreneurship Forum, asked me to put a workshop together to take the best of WSales and turn into a one-day workshop. This week we actually did our first workshop with them. It was sponsored by them, and we actually had a number of their clientele come along. And it's amazing how when you try and help other people, you help yourself. Because by doing that, I realized that it was better to change our 2-day workshop into our 1-day workshop. We did our 1-day workshop. We had great success, great feedback in terms of the clientele. And I'm really excited to say I think this is going to be a huge catalytic effect on going forward in terms of being able to help a lot more people, in terms of helping them get the results in terms of where they were. Then very interesting enough, I had a meeting on Friday morning with some guys in terms of business experience. It's amazing how my business experience has grown. The guy was sitting down, he was talking about WSales and the levels it could go to, and how it could be turned into a 40 million rand business literally within this year. And it was quite interesting because 5 years ago I would have jumped all over it, got all excited, done whatever he said. But I don't believe in all big talk anymore. I believe in results, I believe in action. And I said, that's fine, I really understand what you're saying. I think the opportunity is there. I think there's the opportunity to get involved in government, etc., etc. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to keep organizing workshops. I'm going to keep getting in front of people. I'm going to keep adding value. And I believe that it will build and time will come. And if you can do that, go for it. And we can do some sort of partnership agreement, when it actually happens. But it was just amazing how my mindset's changed with regards to my experience, and not getting all excited and running after it, and just sticking to the fundamentals, getting them done, and building the business as Hannes teaches, taking it through the levels, rather than just hoping for that big break that's going to give me 40 million rand overnight, because certainly from my experience, I don't believe that actually happens. So the other thing that was pretty cool with regards to this WSales and training people, I was actually in a pub on Friday evening. This lady walked past, she said, "Hi, are you Scott?" And I said, "Yes." And I was a bit embarrassed because I couldn't remember where she was from. She said, "I was at the Durban workshop that you gave." She said it was the best workshop we've ever been to, basically. And on the basis that Rawson actually sponsored the event with the Institute of Estate Agents of South Africa, they said it was the best event they've ever been. On the basis that they moved their franchise from ERA to Rawson. So, huge thumbs up to Rawson for having the composure and the gumption to back us and to get us in there, to add huge value to their clients. But for me, it's a classic example. Add value to your clients and they will come. And that's what Rawson wanted. They want to build their business. They want to get franchises to come over to the Rawson brand. So, I think it was a huge victory. But what an awesome feeling to go back and sit with my mates and just to say, wow, we changed someone's life, we touched someone's life, we got huge results for them. It's really, really awesome. So I think it's one of the greatest things of what I'm doing now in terms of really helping people, bumping into them, and they tell you literally in the streets the type of value that you're adding to their life, which is pretty awesome. Then with regards to the rugby, well, this week the rugby started. I went to watch the first game with Wales, and I have to say, I collectively think that life insurance across this country has gone up. I mean, that was awful, you know, how close that game was. But credo to the Springboks, you know, for coming through, for dealing with that huge intense pressure and coming through. And I'm always a big believer when it comes to World Cups. It's the teams that can win even when they're playing badly. It's the teams that can hold it out at the end that will go through. So, you know, I think it's pretty exciting what we've seen with regards to the Springboks, and who knows, you know, where we'll go from here. But at least we started with a victory, which I think is really critical. But I think my old heart nearly bloody fell in a heap trying to deal with all the all the challenges and of watching that game in terms of where we were. And then lastly, I'm very excited. You know, next week we're going up, we're doing those presentations with Roger Hamilton. I spent Sunday planning and trying to find something of real value to be able to give people so that they could understand what W Sales was all about. But, you know, also spending time with my wife, and it's amazing. I learned a big lesson. Don't try and fly, you know, book last minute to fly to Joburg on a Monday morning. Tickets were absolutely ridiculous, like $2,500. So I ended up flying at 9 p.m. at night, only arriving at 11 p.m. And really, you know, that is the best way to burn yourself out with regards to your energy levels. So it's one of my big commitments to myself, is that I'm going to manage my energy much better. I'm going to look after myself, and I'm trying. I've still got a hell of a long way to go in terms of where I am. So that's everything from this week. A very exciting week. The Rugby World Cup has started. We started with a win. Onwards and upwards from here. What are you doing? How are you taking your life forward? Are you getting the results that you want? If not, make a decision today to take one action. Make one decision and take one action, because that forward momentum will get you what you want. Till next week. Cheers.